Once upon a time, during the early Miocene through the Pliocene epoch about 23 to 3.6 million years ago, there lived a monstrous creature who swam in Earth's early oceans. This creature was known as the King of the Ocean. This monster was called Megalodon, the Big Tooth. The Megalodon was the ruler of the oceans. Its massive size and powerful jaws struck fear into all other sea creatures. At up to 60 feet long, the Megalodon dwarfed even the largest modern-day sharks. With rows of serrated teeth the size of human hands, it could easily crush the bones of whales and other large marine animals. The Megalodon's diet consisted mainly of whales, seals, and other sharks. Its hunting strategy was to attack the underbelly or fins of its prey, disabling them before going in for the kill. Over millions of years, the mighty Megalodon swam through Earth's oceans, but the Megalodon's future demise was already in motion. One day, an asteroid came to Earth. It hit the ground with so much size and force that it caused massive tsunamis and tidal waves that swept across the oceans. Rocks and dirt were thrown into Earth's atmosphere. Incredible destruction was unleashed upon the Earth. The Megalodon, sensing the disturbance, dove deep into the murky depths, its powerful tail propelling it through the churning waters. As debris and ash fell to the sky, blocking out the sun, the ocean temperatures began to plummet. The Megalodon, accustomed to warmer water, struggled to adapt to the sudden change. Its prey, already scarce, became even harder to find in the darkest seas. For weeks, the massive shark roamed the altered underwater landscape, its keen senses searching for any sign of food. The once abundant whales and seals had vanished, either killed by the impact or fleeing to safer waters. The Megalodon's hunger grew, its mighty body weakening with each passing day. As the dust began to settle and light slowly returned to the ocean's surface, the Megalodon ventured closer to the surface. The world it knew had changed dramatically. The once thriving coral reefs lay in ruins, crushed by the massive waves or suffocated by the ash-filled waters. Schools of fish that had once filled the seas were now sparse, their numbers disseminated by the catastrophic event. The Megalodon's keen senses detected a faint disturbance in the water. With a powerful sweep of its tail, it surged forward, hoping to find sustenance. As it approached, it saw a group of small sharks scavenging on the carcass of a whale that had not survived the cataclysm. In its weakened state, the Megalodon knew it couldn't compete with the more agile predators. Driven by its desperation, the mighty shark ventured into shallow waters, a territory it had rarely explored before. The coastal areas were now a graveyard of marine life littered with the bodies of creatures that had not survived the impact. The Megalodon's powerful jaws, once used to crush the bones of whales, now reluctantly clamped down on the decaying flesh of smaller creatures. As days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the Megalodon's world continued to change. The ocean currents shifted, bringing colder waters from the depths to the surface. The great shark, already struggling to find enough food, now battled against the dropping temperatures that threatened to slow its metabolism. Other Megalodons, once fierce competitors, became rare sights. The few encounters were no longer about territorial disputes or mating rights, but desperate battles over dwindling food sources. Once mighty predators, now gaunt and weakened, barely resembled their former selves. In its weakened state, the Megalodon found itself vulnerable to attacks from smaller, more doubtful predators. As the years passed, the Megalodon population dwindled. The few survivors retreated to the deepest parts of the ocean, where the cold slowed their metabolism and allowed them to conserve energy. But even in these depths, food was scarce, and the once mighty predators struggled to survive. The Megalodon's reign as the apex predator of the seas was coming to an end. Its massive size, once an advantage, now became a liability in a world where smaller, more adaptable creatures thrived. The changing climate and shifting ecosystems favored those who could quickly adapt, leaving the Megalodon as a relic of a bygone era. In his final days, the Megalodon's massive form drifted listlessly through the dark, frigid waters of the deep ocean. His most powerful muscles had dropped. His keen senses dulled by hunger and exhaustion. The great shark's thoughts, driven by primitive instinct, were a haze of confusion and despair. As it slowly sank deeper into the abyss, the Megalodon's ancient eyes, adapted for hunting in shallower, brighter waters, could barely make out the bioluminescent creatures that now surrounded it. These strange glowing organisms were so different from the prey it had evolved to hunt, yet they were now the only signs of life in this alien world. The great shark's movements were sluggish, its once mighty jaws now too weak to crush the bones of large marine mammals. As it drifted through the vast emptiness of the deep ocean, the Megalodon encountered something it had never seen before. Strange luminescent creatures that seemed to thrive in the darkness. These bioluminescent organisms, adapted to the extreme pressures and cold of the deep sea, represented a new era of marine life that was beyond the Megalodon's reach. In a final desperate attempt to survive, the Megalodon began to follow these glowing creatures, hoping they might lead to a food source. But as it ventured deeper into the depths of the ocean, its massive body struggled to withstand the increasing pressure. The Megalodon's ancient enemy evolved for life in shallow waters and was not designed for these extreme depths. Its organs began to fail, unable to cope with the crushing force of the deep ocean. As the Megalodon sank deeper, its consciousness began to fade. Millions of years of evolution and dominance were coming to an end in the silent, pitch-black abyss. The last of its kind, this mighty predator was witnessing the twilight of an era it had once ruled. In its final moments, the Megalodon's primitive brain experienced a surge of ancestral memories. Images of warm, shallow seas teeming with prey flashed through his mind. The thrill of the hunt, the satisfying crunch of whale bones, and the feeling of supremacy in his watery domain all echoed in his fading consciousness. As the last flickers of life faded from the Megalodon's ancient body, his massive form began to sink into the abyssal plain. The pressure at these depths would preserve his remains, creating a fossil that would lie undisturbed for millions of years. In the eons that followed, the ocean continued to evolve. New species emerged adapted to the changing climate and ecosystems. The reign of the Megalodon became a distant memory, known only to the rocks and sediments that held its fossilized teeth and vertebrae. As the last Megalodon disappeared into the inky blackness of the deep ocean, the world above continued to change and evolve. The oceans, once ruled by the Megalodon, saw the rise of new apex predators. Killer whales, great white sharks, and other large marine mammals filled the ecological niches left behind by the ancient shark. The absence of the Megalodon created a void in the marine ecosystem that would be filled by new predators and species. The ocean's delicate balance shifted, adapting to the loss of its once dominant ruler. Millions of years later, in an era dominated by a new apex predator, humans, the legend of the Megalodon would be rediscovered. Scientists and researchers armed with advanced technology would begin to piece together the story of this ancient giant. They would marvel at its size, study its hunting strategies, and debate the reasons for its extinction. The Megalodon's story would be pieced together by paleontologists, its reign as the ocean's apex predator becoming the stuff of legend. Unbeknownst to the dying predator, its legacy will live on. The first hints of the Megalodon's existence came in the form of massive fossilized teeth, discovered by curious beachcombers and early naturalists. These teeth, some larger than a human hand, sparked the imagination of scientists and the public alike. As more fossils were uncovered, a picture began to emerge of a creature so massive it seemed almost mythical. But many eyewitnesses have reported sightings of a monstrous shark-like creature swimming in our oceans for years. There have been many alleged photographs and videos of this shark creature lurking in the depths. The first sighting occurred in 1918 off the coast of South Africa. A fishing vessel reported encountering a shark of unprecedented size, easily dwarfing their boat. The crew described a creature with a massive blunt head and rows of teeth larger than any known shark species. While initially dismissed as a tall tale, the incident sparked a wave of similar reports across the globe. In the 1950s, a series of mysterious attacks on boats off the coast of Australia led to renewed speculation about the Megalodon's survival. Witnesses described a massive shark-like creature capable of overturning small vessels with ease. Marine biologists were skeptical, attributing the exodus to great white sharks or killer whales. However, the size and power described in these accounts far exceeded known capabilities of these species. Speculation about the Megalodon's survival have run rampant, fueled by these alleged sightings and the vastness of the unexplored ocean depths. Marine biologists and cryptozoologists debated the possibility, while skeptics argued that such a large predator couldn't possibly remain hidden in modern times. The Megalodon's story captured the public imagination. Books, documentaries, and even Hollywood movies depicted the ancient shark as a terrifying sea monster. The Megalodon may indeed still be alive, some people say, swimming in our oceans. And it may still be swimming in our oceans till this very day. So, if you ever go swimming in the ocean, I will be very careful and make sure to stay in the shallows near the beach or swim next to your boat, because you may never know if a massive creature could be lurking under your feet in the dark depths of the ocean while you swim, and you could find yourself becoming the next victim of the Megalodon.